here to represent respondent Ladonna Cross? I don't think we have respondent's counsel. I'll reach out to my...
it's all right if my counsel isn't here. I can also represent myself.
Oh, are you Ladonna Cross?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. The link that she sent, the link that my attorney sent me is broken, so I haven't been able to follow it through. I did download Zoom and open a new account, but like I said, the link is broken, so I just called in, even though people got on to me about 1.5 years ago whenever I made a phone call in. So just explaining myself.
That's fine, no problem. Who's here to represent the child as guardian ad litem?
Morning, Your Honor. I'm Julie Seitz, and I'm guardian ad litem for Riker Wavy. Your Honor, he is not present today. He just moved, and he's studying at a new school, so he's going to be at...
Ms. Seitz, your audio is very choppy. Maybe if you could turn off your camera, that might help. So, but I was able to make out what you said. It sounds like the child is not here. But we do have Cassidy Cross present. Is that the resource parent?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh, wow. You guys actually sent my kid to my sister? You guys do know she's being investigated for child pornography, and I already told you guys during every hearing that we've had that my sister was a sex trafficker. I asked you guys to please not send my son to my sister, and you guys did it anyways. And you didn't even tell me that you did it. You guys started letting them meet with each other over 1 year ago. You guys haven't actually let me see my son's face in over 14 months. You do realize that, right? I've had to actually call Child Protective Services. Yes, ma'am. I cannot believe. Can I get your name, ma'am?
I announced my name at the beginning of the hearing.
I need the judge's name that's presiding over this hearing right now.
My name is Ladonna. I'm special master.
Okay, I'm going to need the name of the judge that's presided over this, who sent my child to a sex trafficker. It's pretty important that I have your name, ma'am. You're not going to give me... Well, what's funny about it is that my lawyer won't give me the name either. So it's really weird that I can't get the name of the judge who's presided over my CPS case for over 2 years now. Don't you think? Does no one else think that that's strange? You can't give me your name? I mean, I've seen your name in an email report. I mean, in emails. If I was getting the emails from you guys, I would see all of your names written down. So I don't understand why whenever I ask my lawyer, hey, will you remind me what the name of this judge is? Or whenever I ask the judge personally, like, what is your name? Suddenly, like, it's a secret. Yeah, because the whole thing is complete trash. I can't believe you guys sent my kid to a fucking woman who has been taking pictures and videos of us for the last 15 years, selling them online. I already told you guys about this. You guys gave me 3 different attorneys and not one of them listened to me. You guys did not listen. I've had to report you guys to CPS in both Texas and New Mexico because I'm so poor, I can't afford a real attorney.
I was waiting for an opportunity.
Yes, please explain. Yes, please explain. I'm ready to hear now.
And I understand that Mr. Wolf Baumgartner is supposed to be covering, but he's also not present, so we're reaching out to Mr. Baumgartner. And,
cool. I'm going to be calling the police as soon as I get off the phone.
Cross is so upset. I think it would help possibly if she could connect with her attorney. But if you're listening to me now, I give you your device. I want to let you know that the judge presiding in your case is Judge Robertson. And I'm a special master with the 2nd Judicial District Court. My name is Ladonna, and we're reaching out to your attorney now, okay? All right, so I got everyone's appearance, and I don't have a court report in this matter, Mr. Kemp.
Your Honor, a court report was filed yesterday.
Okay, and Ms. Seif, did you have an opportunity to review that?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. So last time we were here was in April, and at that time the child was in a resource home in New Mexico with Teresa Lemaster, and I was updated on the information that he had been in recent contact with a relative named Cassidy Cross, who I think I was told that she resides in Texas, and that there had been one kind of extended visit over Christmas with Ms. Cross. It sounds like the child has been moved to Ms. Cross, so I want to hear about that since I haven't seen the court report yet. So Mr. Katz, can you update me on that? Or Ms. Henderson?
Yes, Your Honor, the child was relocated to Texas a few weeks ago, and I believe Ms. Henderson has more information on that.
Okay, and Mr. Katz will need a change of placement notice?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Henderson, how is that going?
Thank you, Special Masters. So before he was moving, he was very excited and happy. Cassidy, along with her husband, they would consistently come to New Mexico and visit Riker, and he always had a really good time with them. As of right now, he is still adjusting. It's a new environment for him, but he's feeling very, very well in this home. There's no issues or no concerns currently.
All right, and can you speak to some of Mom's concerns prior to placing a child out of state? Does the department take any measures to investigate the potential placement?
So with Mom, when I tried to have conversations with her regarding the allegations that she would make against Miss Cross, so I barely found out about Miss Cross, Cassidy, about, I would say, around maybe October of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have inconsistent contact with Miss Cross. And majority of the time when I do try to have conversations with her, she's usually yelling at me. She accuses me of also being part of...
She's never had conversations with me. She's never tried to have conversations with me.
Part of that team. And she also states that I'm one of the demons that's following her as well.
I've never said anything like that.
Cross does have schizophrenia. Her dad has disclosed...
I've never been diagnosed with schizophrenia, bitch.
But as of right now, Ms. Cross is aware that there has been a therapeutic recommendation from Riker's therapist with trauma recovery that it's not in Riker's best interest to have communication with him. And I did send her a text message about this, and she was aware of it. This happened in March of this year.
Okay. Thank you.
And in regards to those allegations, so the FBI was involved. It was actually Texas that had reached out to me, Texas investigators. It's actually very detailed in my court report that I submitted. I've had the FBI call me once since Ms. Cross has made this allegation, and they informed me that there has been, I think about maybe 5 other calls where Ms. Cross has made this allegations, and all of them were found with no record. So it's kind of like with New Mexico, it means that the cases were unsubstantiated and failed to be true. And then there was 2 other times there was investigators involved from Texas, investigators. One of them, I believe her name was Amanda. And then the most recent one, I believe this was about maybe very recent, 3 weeks ago. He did his investigation, and he said that they have no proof, no record, and they're going based on all of the other allegations Ms. Cross has made as well, Ladonna, and they said that all of them were found to be unsubstantiated on their end. They did recommend that if this continues, they would recommend Ms. Cassidy if she can seek out legal advice.
All right, thank you, Ms. Henderson. And just for the record, did Ms. Cassidy go through like an ICPC process where she had to be investigated and her home had to be inspected?
Yes, and that started like around March, and it was barely approved in August.
Okay, thank you.
And Riker was moved on August 30th, 2025.
August 30th, 2025. Okay. And I do see paragraph 19 of your report is pretty involved and detailed about these things. I'll note for the record that Wolf Baumgartner has joined the hearing. And Mr. Baumgartner, you weren't here earlier. I understand that you were covering for Ms. Grzelska. Your client is here. She's appearing by phone. She's very, very agitated and started voicing some concern about Cassidy Cross, who's the resource parent now. I tried to let her say her piece, but she really didn't give me a chance to kind of address some of her concerns, so I had to mute her device. So if you could just let Ms. Grzelska know that her level of agitation was such that we couldn't just let her go on forever and disrupt the proceedings.
Right.
Okay. All right. So let me hear from the guardian ad litem, Ms. Seiss. Is there anything you'd like to report and place on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. So Riker did move. I did see him right before he left. He was very excited about the move.
Yeah, this guardian belongs in prison.
Having just minor things, just getting used to new roles in a new setting. I think he got used to seeing his aunt and uncle, when they would come for visits. And so it was a fun time, and now he has to go and he has to follow the rules and do things like homework. And so it's just a little bit of a readjustment for him. He did have to be interviewed by the investigators just in the last 2 weeks because of the allegations that were made. So I think that was stressful for him and also a little bit shocking because he did not know the nature of the allegations, but now he does. So I think that was fortunate. Ms. Cross is wondering if maybe therapy now in Texas would be helpful, and I think she's right. I think he would benefit from having a therapist just to help him with a transition to a new placement, but also just with the situation.
Right. They'll put them in therapy, and then they'll have the therapist make these decisions for them. They'll pay therapists to say things.
So hopefully, yes, Ms. Henderson, it's hard. We have to get therapists out of state, but I think we can figure it out and get someone.
Right. Well, it sounds like it's Texas's jurisdiction now, so I'm not sure why you guys are even.
Right. He's so nice. He's just a really good little boy.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that he is with you, Beth.
Sure you are.
Right, Ms. Seiss, just because the hearings had sort of a chaotic beginning and you mentioned allegations, and since the child's not here, I want you to place on the record what allegations this child had to be interviewed by the FBI about.
His mother called, and she's called several times even before he got to that home. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sick. His mother has made several allegations regarding Ms. Cross and her family about them being sex traffickers and that they have sex trafficked him in the past. And he was just not aware of that necessarily. So when he had the interview, he had to be told a little bit about what that meant. And then
oh my God.
It was not a substantiated allegation.
Right, and that was my fault.
Addressed with the appropriate law enforcement.
Yeah, it's so terrible that a mother would speak up for her child.
I want to go to Cassidy Cross. Is there anything you'd like to report and tell us about?
I mean, much of what my thoughts have already been said. I mean, he's adjusting, but he's enjoying his new school. He did tell me that it's a bit of a smaller class size, and so he benefits from the distractions being decreased. We're doing
game nights with friends, and he's made friends with all of my friends' children. You know, we've gone to Wonderland, which is an amusement park. We've taken him hiking out in Powder Canyon, and, you know, it's an adjustment, but he's also, I think, really, you know, kind of staying on the positive side of things. Yes, there are new rules, there are, you know, are new foods, and the technology, you know, I can't just let him be on it all day. He's got to have other hobbies. But, you know, we've been drawing together, and, you know, we just, I think, had a really good time.
Yeah.
And for every time, you know, he's, you know, trying a new food, and maybe he doesn't like that one, and we're doing ramen noodles instead or something like that. For every time that happens, I think that there's like a positive experience as well. And so I think he's having a good time, and he's a great kid. And you are a prospective adoptive placement, right? Yes. Okay. All right. Mr. Katz and Ms. Henderson, please look into getting the child in therapy in his new setting, his new town, okay?
Oh my God.
Also, what's the department done in furtherance of the finalizing the permanency plan of adoption? I don't see that, and I didn't get a chance to review this prior to this hearing, so if you could just put that on the record, please, Ms. Henderson and Mr. Katz.
I'll defer to Ms. Henderson for this.
So in regards to my efforts, it's kind of difficult to locate and get in contact with Ms. Cross because usually the numbers I try to call back.
That's not true.
And like I mentioned,
You guys wouldn't believe the things that I do, like cleaning poop out of people's garages and all kinds of stuff just to keep my phone on.
Do you have the child's vital records? Have you been putting together a document for disclosure?
Oh yes, I have his vital documents. Yes.
Okay. And are you working on a disclosure document?
Not yet. I usually work on it a month before we have it at TPR, so that I can make sure all the records are up to date. But I have majority of his things, his records, like medical, dental, educational.
Okay. A month before TPR sounds very dangerous to me, given what I've heard in other cases about how long it takes to do the disclosure, and I understand also the department's relying on another team of people to do that. So I know you're experienced at this. If you're telling me that you can do this, you can wait for a month, then I'm going to write that down and take you to the bank on that. Ms. Sykes, your hand is up.
Thank you, Your Honor. I mean, I think the issue is the department needs to file the TPR motion. I don't believe it's been filed.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm sorry.
I think that's where we're at.
Yeah. When can we expect the TPR motion, Mr. Katz?
I don't have an exact date, but I will start working on that as soon as we are done with this hearing.
You'll start working on that this week?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Place your requested findings on the record.
The department requests the following. The court has jurisdiction over the subject matter of this cause and the parties in this cause. There is no reason to know that the child is an Indian child, therefore neither the Indian Family Protection Act nor the Indian Child Welfare Act applies to proceedings. The parties are required to inform the court if they subsequently receive information that provides reason to know that the child is an Indian child. The substitute care provider was notified of this hearing and was present and given the opportunity to be heard. CYFD has made reasonable efforts to implement the case plan previously ordered by the court. CYFD has made reasonable efforts to finalize the permanency plan currently in effect, which is adoption as follows. The department's ICPC has been approved and the child has been placed with relatives in Texas.
Well, I'm calling the police as soon as I get off the phone.
Continues to make efforts to locate Ms. Cross. However, the permanency worker has not been in recent contact with her.
Constantly available. I've made myself available for over 2 years.
Also has the child's vital records. With respect to respondent Ladonna Cross, the respondent has complied with the case plan as follows. The department has not had consistent contact with Ms. Cross and is therefore unable to assess her compliance with her case plan.
Oh my God.
The respondent has failed to comply with the case plan as follows. The department has not had consistent contact with Ms. Cross.
I can't believe that they can just do this.
This respondent needs to make further progress in the following areas. Ms. Cross needs to maintain consistent contact with the department and to comply with her case plan to alleviate the causes and conditions that brought her child into CYFD custody.
Which was my sister doing this.
Activities of the parties with respect to the case plan are found in the court report for this hearing, filed on September 22nd, 2025, and attached and incorporated by reference. The case plan proposed by CYFD in its court report for this hearing, filed on September 22nd, 2025, attached to this order is appropriate in the circumstances of this case and should be adopted by the court for implementation by CYFD. The permanency plan proposed by CYFD is adoption. The court finds that this plan is appropriate and is in the best interest of the child. The child does not have any siblings in CYFD custody. It is in the best interest of the child that the child remains in the legal custody of CYFD, subject to judicial review as required by law. Visitation should be as set forth in the case plan adopted by the court. CYFD has presented a report for this hearing, filed on September 22nd, 2025, and attached here too that contains the facts involved in this matter, which were adopted as further findings of this court. The appointments of Teresa LeMaster as the child's educational decision maker and parent for the purposes of the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act have been reviewed and should not continue. Cassidy Cross and Nathan Williams should be appointed the child's educational decision makers and the child's parents for the purposes of FERPA.
Is Nathan William Ms. Cross's system?
I'll defer to T.
Can you Nathan William is before I?
Yes. I believe that is Ms. Cross's husband.
Okay.
I can confirm that is my husband.
Okay. Ms. Sykes, your position on the requested findings?
Your Honor, I have no objection to the requested findings.
And Mr. Baumgartner, I know you're in a difficult position. Are you able to take a position? I can also.
Yeah, I would just request that Ms. Grzelskis has a chance to review. I'm assuming that she was sent the report. And Mr. Katz, so yeah, I think I just request that she have an opportunity to actually look over it. She's obviously much more familiar with the case than I am, so that she can object if necessary.
Okay, Mr. Katz, if you could put in the order that Ms. Grzelskis has 30 days to reopen this permanency hearing. I have to do that since the report was not provided to the court within 2 days prior to the hearing. And yeah, I think that's best under these circumstances.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Mr. Baumgartner, I don't know if Ms. Grzelskis has already considered this, but throughout this case, I have heard about mom's outbursts, and I've heard of
Outbursts
diagnosis in the past and again today. I don't know if mom has medication management, but I do know that people with that diagnosis
I've never been diagnosed with anything like that.
Maintain and be able to meaningfully participate in everyday life, including a case plan. So I know that the OFRA has peer support navigators and social workers that might be a benefit in this case. I know mom sort of pops in and out, but please mention that to Ms. Grzelskis, okay?
Yeah, I just put a note in asking if we can maybe do a referral.
Right, so they're just trying to insult me at this point.
Yeah, talk about our different options for treatment.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to make the findings as requested by the department and placed on the record without objection. Note, Mr. Baumgartner is taking no position and 30 days to reopen. Okay, thank you, everyone. That concludes this hearing. We'll go off the record.
Thank you.
We're off the record.
Okay, so as you heard, they were allowed to use The fact that my family and my sister and everybody has had me trafficked. They've had me trafficked my entire life, right? Well, they just used a false allegation that my sister told them that I had schizophrenia, right? And so they've been able to take this ball and roll with it and say that I'm mentally ill and that I have schizophrenia and that all of this is just the result of me having schizophrenic episodes and that I have outbursts all the time. And this is the first time that I've ever had a quote outburst. I've never ever had this happen before. I've never lost it like I just did just now. They actually sent my child to the same family who has had us trafficked my entire life. They literally held my children and I hostage our entire lives until I fled over 3 years ago after they had human sacrifices to run me out of town. So there you have it. That's them talking about how I have a diagnosis that I've never been diagnosed with. I've never, ever been diagnosed with schizophrenia. And they're using that in court, saying that I actually have schizophrenia. They also ignored everything that I said about my sister. They could have kept the kid in the foster home that he was in, or they could have sent him to any number of other people. They even said, look, they've done this all wrong. It's all wrong.